Hi, my name's Kirsty. I'm 22 years old. A little bit about my background. I was born into a Seventh-day Adventist family. My parents were God-fearing parents. They tried to bring me up in the way of the Lord and just teach me and guide me in His ways. When I was probably about 5 or 6, my parents broke up, and so we went through sort of a period of time in our family where it was very shaky, sort of tested me and put me through a few things that I guess just sort of made me really turn to God, if for my own personal way. I really started reading my Bible, and I feel like God just sort of took me and carried me through that experience, because it was a very traumatic experience. I have a verse here, and I believe that this verse is, it's very dear to me. It says, it's in Isaiah 28 and it's verse 26. It says, "For his God does instruct him to discretion and does teach him." And I feel like that's what God has done for me from that period up until now. I started studying my Bible and asking questions to myself, and during that time my mum was quite sick, and so I almost sort of went into like a parent role with her, taking care of her and then my sister. So yeah, I don't really feel like I had a huge amount of a childhood, but that's okay. I think that it was a blessing in the end. In regards to the Son and the Godhead sort of belief, I've sort of grown up believing that. I think it's been such a blessing. I've heard different talks here and there about the Trinity, and I come back to my Bible and it's so peaceful and such a blessing to be able to come back and read and know that God is so clear. It is not this thing that we can't understand. It's right there, we can grasp it, even though it's, you know, for all of eternity we'll be trying to, that we'll be learning and understanding and studying these things. At least now we can see a picture of God's love for us that was demonstrated in the Father giving His only begotten Son instead of them taking on these roles, which doesn't have as much meaning, for me personally anyway, with that point of view. Had a few, you know, little ups and downs in my life, but I feel that God has really carried me through those experiences, and the Bible is just such a rock of inspiration. And if you pray, God will just teach you and lead you. I've had so many experiences where I've just opened up my Bible and I've said a prayer, you know, asking God for leading, and I'll just open up my Bible to the exact verse that I needed to read, and it happens to me all the time. And I'll be asking questions, and I'll go into a study on certain topics, and I'll find that each verse that I sort of look at or turn to in my Bible relates directly to the questions that I've had personally. For any young people out there, I would just say that it's, from my own personal experiences, it's not worth going out and trying these things. They have no meaning. They tear you down, they take away your innocence as a person. And I think that there's another verse that says that God sets before us the way of life and the way of death. And personally, I would like to choose life. I hope you've been blessed by this and just some of the experiences I've had and my testimony. Thank you.